If you feel invisible in social settings and want to attract effortlessly without saying a word, this video is your step-by-step blueprint to becoming silently magnetic. Welcome to Audiobook Journey, where this masterclass reveals 12 powerful chapters packed with proven habits to boost your confidence, master calm communication, and create irresistible presence that speaks louder than words. Hit subscribe now and use the chapter markers below to navigate through every life-changing insight in this long-form guide. Let's dive in. Imagine a room where silence speaks louder than words, where presence itself commands attention without a single phrase uttered. Picture yourself moving through life with a quiet magnetism, an invisible force that draws people close, not by noise or flashy displays, but through the subtle power of calm confidence. This audiobook is your key to unlocking that secret realm, how to be silently attractive. In a world overwhelmed by noise, chatter, and endless striving to be seen and heard, there lies a profound strength in the art of being understated, socially magnetic without makeup or bravado, captivating without demand. Here, you will embark on a journey inward, discovering the habits that make attraction effortless, authentic, and deeply compelling. Brace yourself for transformation. This is more than social advice. It is a new way of living, connecting and shining that will surprise and inspire you. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Power of Presence. Have you ever walked into a room and noticed how some people just seem to exist in a space differently? There's a subtle gravity around them, an invisible halo that quietly commands attention without a single word. It's as if their very being hums with an unspoken energy, and everyone feels it. That is presence, the profound, silent force that makes you unforgettable before you even speak. Presence is not about flashy displays or loud declarations. It is the raw essence of who you are in the moment, stripped of noise and performance. Imagine standing still in the middle of a bustling crowd, yet feeling completely anchored, calm, and undeniable. People don't just see you, they feel you. This invisible power, this groundedness, is the foundation of silent attractiveness. This chapter is your invitation to explore presence as the starting point of your transformation. If attraction is a dance, presence is the rhythm, the steady pulse that holds everything together. Without it, all other efforts, all words and gestures may scatter like leaves in the wind. With it you become magnetic, not because you try to be, but because you simply are. What makes presence so compelling? It is the connection between your inner world and the outer reality, a reflection of self-awareness and authenticity. When you cultivate presence, you deepen your connection to yourself first, then naturally to others. It begins by coming home to your own breath, your posture, your gaze, the fundamental ways you embody yourself. Think of the last time you felt truly seen, not through outward recognition, but because someone's silent attention settled on you, like warm sunlight. That's presence. A space between people that fosters trust without words. It is the pause that invites vulnerability and openness. Presence is an emotional invitation. Before any conversation even begins, there is urgency in mastering presence, because the world moves fast, distracting us with noise and busyness. We often lose ourselves trying to keep pace, our energy scattered and diluted. But presence asks us to stop. Simply be here, now, fully. It asks us to breathe deeply into our body, to remember who we are beneath all roles and routines. The journey to silent attractiveness starts with recognizing that your value is inherent, not earned through achievements, appearance, or approval, but by simply being. This realization invites a quiet confidence that feels effortless because it is rooted in truth. Presence is not something to fake. It is the discovery of your own natural state. This path may sometimes feel uncomfortable, because modern culture often equates silence with weakness or invisibility. Yet, when you embrace silence as a space of power, Your presence expands. You become a participant in life's flow, rather than a ship tossed by every wave. This calm steadiness quietly assures others that you are reliable, approachable, and real. Presence also shapes your interaction with others. When you hold yourself fully in the moment, your attention is unfragmented. People sense this integrity and respond with warmth and openness. Your presence becomes a gift, offering others a rare chance to relax and be themselves. One practical step to cultivate presence is conscious breathing, feeling the rhythm of inhale and exhale as an anchor amid chaos. Another is posture, standing or sitting with openness, without tension or slouching. Eyes also play a crucial role. A soft, steady gaze conveys interest without pressure. These small, daily practices build a foundation for lasting magnetic energy. This is not a quick fix or a trick, but a lifelong cultivation, a gradual awakening to your inherent worth and the power it carries. Along this journey, you will learn to recognize when you drift into distraction or self-doubt and gently return to presence, like a traveler finding their way home. Presence ripples outwards, coloring every interaction and moment with authenticity. It is the silent language of attraction that transcends physical appearances or rehearsed charm. When rooted in presence, your life becomes a quiet beacon, drawing others naturally and deeply. As you embrace this deeper awareness, notice how you begin to feel more centered. Even when things feel uncertain, the calm at your core infuses confidence that doesn't shout but resonates. You begin to trust yourself more, and that trust is visible. It is magnetic. Now, as we prepare to delve deeper into the social habits that deepen silent attractiveness, remember, everything builds from presence. It is the invisible stage on which your entire social performance plays. Without mastering presence, the other skills may falter. With it, you carry a timeless power that no circumstance can diminish. In the next chapter, we will explore how the simple yet profound art of listening becomes a natural extension of presence, transforming your connections and making others feel truly valued. Prepare to discover why silence in conversation can be your secret superpower, adding a new dimension to your magnetic presence. Step into this moment with openness. You have begun something meaningful. Your silent attractiveness starts not with words, but with the quiet strength of simply being fully here. The journey is unfolding, and your presence will guide every step. Chapter 2. Listening as an attraction magnet. From the moment you heard the word listen, what images came to mind? Perhaps a nodding head, polite smiles, or waiting silently for your turn to speak. But true listening, the kind that draws people close, is nothing like that. It is an act of profound connection, a silent gift that speaks louder than any words. Imagine sitting across from someone whose eyes are locked on you, not with impatience, but with genuine curiosity and care. Their entire being tuned in, not just to your words, but to your pauses, your emotions, the subtle shifts in your voice. In that moment, you feel seen, heard, understood. That is the magnetic power of real listening. This chapter unveils the transformative habit of listening as a pillar of silent attractiveness, because when you truly listen, you are telling the other person, without saying a word, you matter, and in response, you become a rare and cherished presence, a haven in a noisy world that so often overlooks the art of attention. We live in a time saturated with noise, endless streams of information, distractions pulling us in all directions. Listening, in its deepest form, requires something radically different: full, undivided presence. It is a commitment, a gift of your essence to another. And this willingness to give your attention selflessly is a powerful magnet. Beyond simple politeness, listening is an active skill that builds bridges. It dissolves barriers and invites trust. When you listen deeply, You create a space where others feel safe to reveal their authenticity. And vulnerability, when met with true attention, becomes the strongest bond. Think for a moment about your closest relationships. What made those connections feel real and lasting? More often than not, it wasn't the grand gestures or endless talking, but the moments when you felt deeply listened to. That sense of being valued and understood is the foundation of authentic attraction. Learning to listen this way involves tuning into more than just words. Notice the unspoken language, the subtle swell in someone's tone when they're excited, the hesitation when they are unsure, the silences pregnant with meaning. These are invitations to deeper understanding, offered generously if only we choose to receive them. Listening also means quieting your inner dialogue, the urge to prepare your next sentence or judge what's being said. It means stepping out of your own mental noise and fully inhabiting the moment of connection. This sinner is not weakness, it is an act of strength, patience, and openness. Imagine a garden where every flower is given its time and space to bloom, nurtured by attentive care. Listening is the soil in which relationships grow. Without it, even the most beautiful connection withers, but with it, attraction blossoms naturally, effortlessly, because it is rooted in genuine human respect. Perhaps you have experienced moments when you listened but felt restless, distracted, or eager to speak. This is common. Transforming listening into a magnetic habit requires practice, mindfulness, and a heart willing to be present beyond convenience or habit. Begin with small steps. When someone speaks, aim to hear fully before reacting. Notice your breathing and body language. Are they open and receptive or closed and distracted? Practice reflecting back what you hear, not as a mechanical repetition, but as a gesture that says, "I am with you." As you deepen this practice, you will see how listening enhances your entire social world. Conversations become richer, misunderstandings fade, and empathy grows. People will begin to seek your company because your silence speaks volumes. It says you are trustworthy, kind, and attentive. Most importantly, listen to yourself with the same care you offer others. Self-listening roots you in clarity and confidence, reducing the overload of thoughts that clutter your mind and drain your presence. The more you honor your inner voice, the more naturally you share authentic energy with the world. Listening is a silent strength that transforms attraction from superficial to soulful. It is the thread that weaves hearts together, the quiet conversation that never needs words. As you cultivate this habit, you step closer to the magnetic power you seek, not by speaking louder, but by opening wider. In the next chapter, we will explore the elegance of subtle expressions, those tiny signals and gentle gestures that communicate interest, warmth, and kindness without saying a single word. These delicate cues are unseen by many, but deeply felt by all. Stay present, stay curious. Your ability to truly listen has already set the stage for a connection unlike any other. The journey grows richer now, inviting you to discover the beauty in the smallest expressions of silent attraction. The next step awaits. Chapter 3. The elegance of subtle expressions. A single glance, a slight smile, the gentle tilt of a head. These are not grand gestures, nor rehearsed performances. They are the quiet poetry of human connection, delicate, fleeting moments that speak more deeply than 1,000 words. These subtle expressions hold a mysterious power, a silent language that we often overlook, but is at the heart of being silently attractive. Imagine the stillness of dawn, when the first soft rays of sunlight touch the earth, barely noticeable yet lighting everything with gentle warmth. That is the essence of subtle expression, not the blare of a spotlight, but the quiet illumination that invites curiosity and draws people in naturally. It is the unspoken art of saying, "I see you, I'm here, and I am open," without uttering a sound. This chapter is your guide to mastering these graceful signals that ripple beneath the surface of social interaction. When we learn to express ourselves subtly, we transcend the noise and clamor of overly loud communication. We step into a realm where attraction is not about performance, but authenticity, where every nuanced movement becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of connection. Subtle expressions are small, but loaded with meaning because they come from a place of genuine feeling. A smile that lingers just long enough, eyes that soften without straining, a nod that acknowledges presence. All these speak volumes about your inner state. They reveal warmth, confidence, approachability, and kindness without overwhelming the space. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to whisper their kindness and interest through their expressions? Their faces do not shout for attention. Instead, they create a magnetic field of comfort and trust. This effect is not accidental. It comes from an awareness of the power of small, intentional gestures layered with sincerity. The challenge of subtlety lies in its demand for authenticity. False or exaggerated expressions become hollow or unsettling, breaking the delicate balance. To be subtly expressive is to cultivate honesty in your micro-movements, to let your inner truth ripple outward, gently and consistently. In real life, subtle expressions often reveal themselves through the eyes first, the windows not just to the soul, but to social resonance. Eyes that hold a steady, calm gaze communicate interest and respect. They avoid piercing stares that can feel invasive and sidestep distracted glances that signal disinterest. The eyes invite a quiet dialogue of presence and acceptance. Facial muscles also play a crucial but nuanced role. A slight lift of the eyebrows can express surprise or engagement. The softness of your mouth, a barely there smile or relaxed lips shows openness and approachability. Even the way you hold your jaw, relaxed rather than clenched, quietly signals ease. Body language complements these subtle facial cues, leaning in just a little, uncrossing arms, tilting your head slightly towards someone, all invite connection without demanding it. These nuanced movements balance boundaries and warmth, creating space for genuine interaction. Consider the magnetic appeal of a friend who seems to listen not just with their mind, but with their whole face and body. Their subtle expressions echo your words before you finish, letting silence fill around understanding. This harmony creates emotional safety, one of the most attractive qualities anyone can embody. Mastering subtle expressions also means shedding the urge to over-explain or fill every silence with words. It's about trusting that your quiet signals carry meaning, that attraction often thrives between what is said and what is left unsaid. When you embrace this rhythm, you gift yourself the ability to connect on levels deeper than conversation alone. Reflect on moments when you felt the presence of someone through their subtle cues. The fleeting smile that comforted you on a difficult day, the soft gaze that lifted your spirits, the gentle nod that gave you permission to be yourself. These are the invisible threads that connect hearts. The elegance of subtle expression is a dance of restraint and honesty. It calls you to slow down, to become attuned to your inner landscape, and to express it with delicate power. This practice awakens a new kind of confidence, not the loud certainty that bombards attention, but the quiet assurance that invites without push. As you develop awareness of your own subtle expressions, you also sharpen your perception of others. You begin to read the intricate emotional landscapes woven into passing glances and small gestures. This empathetic insight deepens your social intelligence and enriches every interaction. Every encounter becomes a canvas, painted with tiny brushstrokes of connection. Your subtle expressions are the colors, soft but vivid, invisible yet unmistakable. They signal your openness to connection, your respect for the space shared, and your authentic engagement. Now, as this understanding settles within you, prepare to embrace a power that seems paradoxical: confidence without noise. In the next chapter, we will dive into cultivating calm confidence, the inner wellspring that radiates steady attraction without demand or drama. Hold this thought close. Subtlety is not weakness, but an elegant strength. It transforms your social presence into a quiet beacon, beckoning others closer with the grace of honesty. The path ahead will deepen this strength, guiding you toward the full spectrum of silent attractiveness. Step forward gently, allowing your expressions to whisper your truth. The journey continues, richer and more inviting than ever. Chapter 4: Cultivating Calm Confidence. There is a particular kind of confidence that does not demand attention, does not shout or brashly declare itself. It is quiet, a deep, steady flame burning beneath the surface, unshaken by the winds of doubt or the noise of the world. This calm confidence is the soul's whisper saying, "I am enough," even in moments when the spotlight isn't on you. Imagine standing on a cliff's edge at dawn. The world wakes silently beneath you, alive yet peaceful. Your breath is steady, your gaze steady. You don't need to prove your strength. It is already there, measured and true. This is the essence of calm confidence, the invisible force that underlies silent attractiveness. In this chapter, we explore how to cultivate this calm confidence, the invisible armor that makes you magnetic without effort or pretense. Unlike the loud bravado many confuse with confidence, calm confidence emanates from a place of deep self-trust. It does not panic when things feel uncertain. It embraces the unknown as part of growth. Why is calm confidence so rare? Because it requires courage to face yourself without decoration or defense. It asks you to accept imperfection and still stand tall, to quiet the restless mind that questions your worth and replace it with steady assurance, rooted in truth. Reflect on the times you felt most confident, not when you were boasting or performing, but when you simply owned your moment. Maybe it was a quiet achievement, a decision made with clarity, or a presence that commanded respect to faith. That feeling, that inner steadiness, is calm confidence calling you home. This confidence grows from self-awareness. It begins by looking inward, embracing your strengths and shadows alike. It means knowing your worth is not conditional on external validation, but anchored deep in your being. This foundation dissolves the need to impress, because when you know your value, approval becomes a bonus, not a necessity. Practices that nurture calm confidence often feel deceptively simple. Daily moments of mindful breathing reconnect you to your center. Gentle affirmations, not as empty slogans, but as honest acknowledgments of your growing strength, fortify your spirit. Small acts of courage, like speaking your truth softly or choosing rest over exhaustion, build momentum over time. Remember, calm confidence is not about perfection. It is about resilience, the capacity to rise again when faced with setbacks, to hold kindness for yourself amid failures. Each misstep becomes a lesson etched into your roti, strengthening the quiet core that draws others like a silent flame. Notice how people respond to calm confidence. It invites trust and respect without command. It disarms defensiveness and melts barriers. Environments shift when someone carries this energy. Conversations deepen, connections strengthen, and attraction unfolds naturally. The beauty of calm confidence is its invisibility. It never demands notice, but gently insists on recognition, because it is authentic. You don't have to try harder or be louder. You simply show up fully, steady, and real, and that alone is magnetic. Imagine a still lake at twilight. The surface is smooth, reflecting the sky without distortion. Calm confidence is like that lake, serene, unruffled by passing storms, reflecting your truest self with clarity and grace. As you integrate this calm confidence, you will find your social presence growing richer. You become less reactive and more intentional. Your energy signals safety and strength, inviting rather than intimidating. This authentic steadiness is the heart of all attractiveness. In the next chapter, we will delve into the power of pause, the intentional silence within speech and action that adds depth, meaning, and allure to your presence. Pausing is the dance partner to calm confidence, allowing space for reflection and impact. Carry this with you now. Confidence does not need to roar to be heard. The quiet assurance you cultivate today will ripple through every interaction, quietly transforming the way you are seen and felt. The path deepens. The journey continues. Step forward with the calm conviction that you are already magnetic. The next discovery awaits just beyond this moment. Chapter 5. The Power of Pause. Pause, it is one of the most underestimated forces in human communication. We rush from word to word, sentence to sentence, filling every silence with noise, afraid that stillness will expose emptiness. But pause is not emptiness. It is sacred space, a heartbeat between thoughts, a breath that holds infinite possibility. In learning the power of pause, you unlock a silent magnetism that transforms how you speak, listen, and connect. Picture a moment when a pause held you spellbound, a conversation where silence stretched just long enough for anticipation to bloom, a revelation to settle, or emotions to deepen. That space between words was charged, electric. It made the following words matter more, the connection feel richer. Pause creates presence. It invites attention rather than demanding it. This chapter is your invitation to understand pause as a masterful tool in the art of silent attraction. Pausing is not hesitation or uncertainty. It is intentional stillness, a deliberate space that adds weight and meaning to your presence and your voice. When embraced, pause can amplify your clarity, your confidence, and your allure. Why is pause so powerful? Because it honors the rhythm of human exchange. Life itself moves in rhythms, the ebb and flow of breath, the rise and fall of tides, the beat of a heart. When your speech aligns with this natural rhythm, your words no longer feel like noise. They become music, carrying resonance. Pause births anticipation. Just as silence between notes in a melody makes the next sound unforgettable, a well-timed pause before a key message draws listeners closer. They lean in, their curiosity ignited, not by what was said, but by what is held in silence. This magnetic invitation feels intimate and profound. Consider the difference between a hurried speech and one measured with calming pauses. The hurried voice overwhelms, often jars. Pause lets your message breathe. It signals that you value your words and your listener's time. This respect deepens attraction because it communicates confidence, a calm assurance that no rushing is needed. Pause also expands your emotional awareness. In the stillness before you respond, you gain inner clarity. You move beyond knee-jerk reactions to thoughtful intention. This quality is visible and magnetic, revealing the steady presence we cultivated in earlier chapters. It shows that you are engaged, reflective, and grounded. Many shy away from pause because silence can feel vulnerable. What if the moment feels awkward? What if the other person misreads it? But this discomfort is a doorway to growth. When you cultivate a relationship with pause, you learn to tolerate stillness and discover its richness. You create space where presence can deepen, layers unfold, and connection blossoms. Pause also deepens listening. When you allow silence after others speak, you give their words room to settle. You communicate patience and true interest. Instead of rushing to fill silence or turn focus back to yourself. This reciprocity of pause and attention creates an unspoken bond of respect. Practically, pause looks like a deliberate breath before answering a question, a moment of eye contact that lingers, or a gentle stop in your speech to emphasize meaning. Pause is fluid. It doesn't interrupt, but enhances flow. It's the pause that turns chatter into conversation, noise into dialogue, speech into connection. Imagine a conversation where every pause is a quiet gesture saying, "I am here with you fully." Its power is subtle, yet profound. It shifts energy from mechanical communication to heartfelt exchange. Your magnetic silence is no longer absence. It becomes presence in its highest form. Now consider how this chapter's lesson will merge with the others we've explored. The presence that grounds you, the listening that connects, the subtle expressions that invite, and the calm confidence that steadies. Pause is the thread weaving all these elements into a seamless magnetic whole. In the next chapter, we will explore how your outward appearance, your style, your grooming, your posture acts as a silent language that conveys your inner magnetic presence. Your physical expression becomes a quiet ambassador, spoken before you say a word. Hold this reflection close. Pause is not a gap to be feared, but a bridge to be embraced. As you learn its gentle mastery, you step into a deeper rhythm with yourself and others. The dance of silent attraction grows richer, more nuanced, and irresistibly alive. The journey unfolds. Your magnetic silence has many faces. Pause is one of the most eloquent. Something extraordinary awaits. Chapter 6. Dressing the part without saying a word. Picture a garden blooming quietly at dawn, each flower unique, shaped by its soil and sun, offering beauty without shouting for attention. Like these blooms, your appearance is the silent language you speak long before your voice enters the room. It is an expression of who you are, a first impression woven from colors, textures, and shapes that signal your inner world without uttering a word. This chapter invites you to discover the art of dressing the part, not as a show or disguise, but as a subtle reflection of your authentic self. Silent attractiveness thrives in thoughtful simplicity, in choices made with intention rather than impulse. When you dress to align with your essence, you cultivate a magnetic presence that whispers rather than shouts. Why does appearance matter in silent attraction? Because it is our first conversation with the world. Clothes and style are not flags waving demanding attention. They are gentle invitations to connect, to engage, to inquire. They create a visual harmony that supports your calm confidence and presence. Consider the power of neatness and appropriateness. A well-chosen outfit, clean and comfortable, communicates care, not vanity. This kind of attention says, "I respect myself and the space I share with you." It invites others to respect you in return. Dressing well is an act of kindness to yourself and others, as it smooths the path for connection. Color plays an undeniable role in silent attractiveness. Certain hues resonate with the energy you wish to radiate. Soft blues evoke calm, deep greens suggest groundedness. Warm earth tones carry approachability. By choosing colors that reflect your mood and personality, you amplify your presence in a way that is both honest and compelling. Your style need not be complex or trendy. It is best when it is timeless and true. Classic cuts, clean lines, and fabrics that feel good against your skin become your allies. These choices reflect an inner alignment between how you feel and how you show up, a powerful magnetism born of congruence. Posture is part of this silent language too. How you carry your body in your clothes broadcasts messages before you speak. Standing tall with relaxed shoulders and an open chest signals readiness and openness. Slouching or tension communicates retreat or discomfort. Your posture weaves the fabric of your appearance into a living statement. Imagine meeting someone whose style invites curiosity without overwhelming. Their presence feels approachable, grounded, and genuine. This effect arises from balanced choices, neither too flashy nor too plain, just right for the moment and place. It is the art of dressing as a reflection of your inner calm and quiet confidence. This is a deeply personal practice. Your clothing becomes an extension of your self-care, a mindful act that honors your individuality. When you cultivate this awareness, you shed the burden of trying to fit in or impress. Instead, you wear what supports your journey, what feels like an alliance rather than armor. The energy you emit through your appearance interacts with everything else you carry. It dovetails with your presence, your listening, your subtle expressions, and your steady confidence. Together, these elements form a seamless social signature that others recognize intuitively. Think about the subtle power of restraint in fashion, the quiet elegance of minimalism that often commands more respect than loud extravagance. Less can be profoundly more when worn with authenticity. This principle echoes the central theme of silent attraction, power expressed through calm clarity. Your senses also matter in this silent dialogue. The textures you choose, the scents you wear, the way your clothes move with you, all contribute to how you feel and how others perceive you. When these sensory details align with your authentic self, your magnetism becomes palpable. This chapter is your blueprint for dressing in harmony with your silent attractiveness. It invites you to experiment gently, to notice what feels nourishing, and to let go of what distracts from your truth. This practice is ongoing, evolving as you grow and deepen your self-awareness. As this chapter closes, reflect on how your appearance can be your quiet ambassador. It tells your story before you speak, invites connection, and supports your inner magnetic presence. You dress not for approval, but for alignment, a powerful distinction that transforms everyday choices into acts of self-respect. In the next chapter, we will explore the graceful habit of social humility, the quiet strength found in kindness, respect, and emotional intelligence. Humility softens edges and opens hearts, weaving a deeper thread of silent attraction. Carry forward this thought. Your appearance is not a costume, but a conversation. When you dress with intention, authenticity, and care, you unlock a new level of irresistible presence. The journey continues, inviting you to embody your true self, fully and gracefully. Chapter 7. Mastering Social Grace and Humility. There is a quiet power in humility, a strength not worn like armor, but carried like a gentle breeze that shapes the landscape without force. It is in the soft touch of kindness, the patient bend of understanding, and the grace that moves fluidly through the complexities of human connection. Humility is not weakness. It is the silent song of the truly attractive soul. Imagine a river, winding effortlessly through diverse terrains, sometimes calm and reflective, sometimes strong and unyielding, always moving forward with steady grace. This is social grace, flowing alongside humility. Together they sculpt an invisible framework in your relationships that invites warmth, respect, and profound connection. This chapter invites you to embrace humility as a cornerstone of silent attractiveness. Beyond flashy confidence or clever words, humility touches something deeper. The recognition that every person you meet carries their own story, struggles, triumphs. To approach others with this awareness is to walk softly yet confidently in the world. Why does humility enhance attraction so powerfully? Because it lowers walls and opens doors. It disarms defenses and creates space for genuine connection. When you hold your own worth without arrogance and honor the worth of others without judgment, You radiate a magnetic authenticity that calls people close. Social grace, the outward expression of humility, shapes how you move through the world. It is visible in your gestures, your tone, your attentiveness to others. It is saying please and thank you with intention, offering a smile that feels warm rather than obligatory, navigating conversations with curiosity rather than control. Reflect for a moment on the people who made you feel safe, valued, and understood. Chances are they carried an ease born of humility and grace. They listened without impatience, acknowledged your feelings without dismissal, and praised without envy. This is the social fabric that quietly, irresistibly attracts. Humility also means embracing vulnerability without shame. It asks you to show up imperfectly, owning your mistakes and gaps with honesty. This transparency becomes a bridge, inviting others to lower their own guards. In a culture obsessed with perfection and competition, such honesty creates rare connection. Yet humility is not self-erasure. It is not shrinking to fit others' expectations or devaluing yourself. Instead, it is standing tall while recognizing the dignity in everyone else's place. It's a balanced dance where confidence and modesty coexist, each strengthening the other. Practicing social grace in daily life is a continuous journey. It means noticing when pride urges dominance or defensiveness and gently choosing openness instead. It means offering compliments without hidden motives and receiving feedback without resistance. It means adapting your behavior not to please, but to understand. Consider a situation where you disagree with someone. Humility invites you to listen fully, seek common ground, and express your views without contempt. This approach not only deepens respect, but often transforms conflict into connection. You become the calm center in a storm, a point of grounding rather than chaos. Your body language reflects this grace. Soft eyes meet hard ones without flinching. Your posture is open, your movements unhurried. You respect personal boundaries while inviting closeness. This balance makes others feel comfortable and valued, further deepening your silent attraction. Humility also enriches your inner life. It fosters gratitude for the journey you've walked and compassion for those still finding their way. This emotional maturity radiates outward, creating a magnetic field of kindness and understanding that words cannot capture. When social grace and humility become habits, they elevate your entire presence. You move from being admired to being beloved, not for spectacle or skill, but for the genuine warmth and respect you embody. This is a deeper level of silent attraction, one that lasts beyond fleeting impressions. As you integrate these qualities, you will notice shifts in your relationships. Conversations flow with more ease, trust deepens, and connections feel more meaningful. People seek your company not because you demand it, but because your authentic self invites it. In the next chapter, we will explore the vital role of emotional stability, the calm reservoir within you that anchors your silent attractiveness amid life's unpredictable waves. Emotional steadiness builds safety and trust, completing the foundation of magnetic presence. Hold this truth close. Humility and grace are not signs of weakness, but badges of profound strength. When you carry them, you become a light that gently draws others near, shining quietly but unmistakably. The journey unfolds ever deeper. Your silent attraction is growing. The path ahead invites you to steady your spirit and embrace unwavering calm. What awaits is both a challenge and a gift. Ready for your next step. Chapter 8. Emotional stability as a silent beacon. In the midst of life's chaos, when storms rage and uncertainty looms, some people shine with an unshakable calm. They carry within them a steady light, a quiet beacon that reassures, comforts, attracts without a word spoken. This is emotional stability, a hidden well of strength that anchors silent attractiveness in the turbulent seas of human experience. Picture a towering lighthouse standing firm against crashing waves, its beam cutting through darkness to guide and protect. Emotional stability is your inner lighthouse. It does not promise the absence of storms, but it guarantees you won't be swept away by them. This steady presence becomes magnetic, creating safety and trust around you. This chapter invites you to recognize the transformative power of emotional stability. It begins with acceptance, not fighting or denying difficult feelings, but meeting them with openness and grace. True stability is not numbness, it is resilience, the ability to feel deeply without being consumed, to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Why is emotional stability essential for silent attractiveness? Because attraction thrives where safety exists. When your energy is grounded and consistent, others feel secure to reveal their true selves. Your calmness is contagious. It quiets their anxieties and draws them closer without effort or explanation. Cultivating emotional stability requires building awareness of your internal landscape. Begin by noticing your emotional patterns without judgment. When frustration or fear arises, pause, observe it, not as a threat, but as a messenger. This shift from reaction to reflection creates space to choose your response. Calm, intentional, magnetic. Mindfulness is a powerful ally in this process. Regularly tuning into your breath, body sensations, and thoughts teaches you to anchor yourself in the present moment. This grounding prevents emotional storms from sweeping you away and fosters a steady energy that others find comforting and attractive. Emotional stability also means setting healthy boundaries. It is saying no when you need to protect your energy, and yes when you are genuinely open. Clear boundaries are not walls, but bridges to respectful, balanced relationships. They communicate self-respect and invite others to meet you with care. Consider how your emotional steadiness influences your interactions. When someone shares a vulnerability, your calm presence validates their courage. When conflict arises, you respond with clarity instead of anger or withdrawal. This steadiness promotes harmony and deepens connection. Key components of silent attraction. Stories from real life remind us of the magnetic power of emotional stability. A friend who listens without judgment during hard times, a partner who holds space calmly amid chaos, a colleague whose steady demeanor eases tensions, all exemplify this magnetic quality. Their presence becomes a refuge and a beacon. Developing emotional stability does not mean suppressing joy, excitement, or passion. Rather, it means embracing the full spectrum of your emotions with equanimity. This balanced approach enriches your charisma and authenticity, making you not just attractive, but irresistible. Imagine yourself as a calm lake reflecting the sky. Ripples may appear, but the underlying stillness remains. This metaphor captures the essence of emotional stability: flexibility without loss of center, openness without fear. Your silent attractiveness grows as you embody this serene strength. As you deepen this practice, notice how your relationships transform. People gravitate toward your grounded energy. Conversations flow with less tension and more understanding. Your presence becomes a quiet force that invites trust and genuine connection. This chapter marks a powerful turning point in your journey. Emotional stability is the silent heartbeat beneath presence, listening, subtle expression, confidence, pause, style, and humility. It unites all these elements into a magnetic whole that speaks volumes in silence. Next, we will explore the art of generosity without expectation, a gentle practice that enhances your silent attractiveness by weaving kindness and warmth into every interaction. Generosity becomes a light that shines quietly yet brilliantly, enriching your presence and your connections. Hold this reflection close. Your emotional stability is not just a personal asset, but a radiant gift to those around you. It is the sanctuary from which silent attraction flows strongest, deepest, and most true. The journey deepens. Stand firm as your own lighthouse, ready to guide and glow. What awaits is a new dimension of your magnetic presence. Generous, warm, and quietly powerful. Chapter 9. The Art of Generosity Without Expectation. Generosity is often imagined as a grand gesture, a gift, a sacrifice, an offer that carries weight and consequence. But true generosity, the kind that quietly enriches the soul and ignites silent attraction, is far more subtle. It is a gentle current flowing through everyday life, a practice that asks for nothing in return, yet gives endlessly. Picture a single candle lighting another in a dark room. The first flame does not dim when it ignites the second. It multiplies the light, expanding warmth and clarity. This is the essence of generosity without expectation, a selfless act that amplifies connection and belonging, not debt or obligation. This chapter reveals generosity as a cornerstone of silent attractiveness, a humble power that transforms relationships from transaction to transformation. When generosity flows freely, it creates a magnetic field that draws others close, not through demands, but through genuine kindness and care. Why does this kind of generosity matter so deeply? Because it is a language of love spoken without words. It reaches into the unseen, into the heart's quietest chambers, and touches the soul. When you give without anticipation, you embody trust in abundance, signaling that you are a person grounded in empathy rather than scarcity. True generosity begins within you. First, offer it to yourself. Practicing self-compassion, setting healthy boundaries, and honoring your needs allow your giving to be wide and sustainable. When you are whole, your generosity is not exhaustion masked as kindness, but a wellspring of genuine warmth. Generosity without expectation turns every interaction into an opportunity to offer presence, understanding, and support. It may look like a listening ear extended when no one asked, a compliment given without hope of return, or a spontaneous act of help offered simply because it felt right. This kind of generosity is silent yet loud in impact. People remember how you made them feel, more than what you said or gave. A thoughtful gesture, a moment of patience, a smile shared at the right moment, all echo longer than big appearances or loud declarations. Reflect on your life's most meaningful connections. Chances are they were nurtured by small acts of generosity that flowed naturally, without calculation. These moments create invisible threads that bind hearts and weave a rich tapestry of empathy and trust. Generosity also cultivates humility. When you give without expectation, you release the need for control or recognition. This practice softens the ego's grip and opens space for authentic connection. It is a practice of surrendering to the flow of kindness, trusting that what you offer returns in ways often unseen. In daily life, generosity invites you to notice needs quietly, to respond gently, and to give freely. It calls for mindfulness, listening to your intuition about when and how to give without tipping into codependence or resentment. This balance is the art you learn through practice. Stories from human experience remind us of generosity's magic. The neighbor who quietly shovels your driveway during a snowstorm, the stranger who lets you merge in traffic with a simple nod, the friend who stays late just to listen, all demonstrate generosity's silent power to attract and heal. Generosity without expectation is a gift to yourself as well. It expands your sense of abundance, dissolves isolation, and roots you in the shared human experience of caring. This expansive heart is a beacon, drawing others who resonate with your authenticity and warmth. As you embrace this practice, notice how your presence changes. You radiate a genuine kindness that invites trust. You become a source of light, steady, and unpretentious in a world often hungry for connection. This radiant generosity is the kind that lasts, deep, meaningful, and quietly magnetic. Looking ahead, the next chapter will guide you to own your story without words. Authenticity will become your most compelling form of silent attraction as you learn to embody your experiences fully and let them shape your magnetic presence. For now, carry forward this thought. Generosity without expectation is not a transaction, but a transformation. It is a daily practice that enriches your life and the lives of those around you, an invisible thread weaving connection, warmth, and silent power. The path you walk grows ever more luminous. Your silent attractiveness is no longer just an idea, but a living force. Step toward the next chapter, ready to embrace your true story and the magnetic authenticity it brings. Chapter 10. Owning your story without words. There is a profound power waiting to be claimed in the silent ownership of your story, not the telling of lifetimes through extravagant speeches, but the quiet embodiment of your journey, its trials, its triumphs, and its truths, woven seamlessly into the fabric of your being. When you own your story without words, you become magnetic, authentic, and deeply compelling. Imagine a weathered tree rooted firmly in shifting soil. Its rings tell untold stories of seasons endured, storms survived, and sunlight welcomed. It does not shout these stories into the wind. The mere presence of the tree teaches volumes. Such is the power of owning your story silently. Your life experiences etched not on your lips, but reflected in your posture, your gaze, your calm certainty. This chapter invites you to embrace your history wholly, not as a burden or a trophy, but as the foundation of your unique magnetic presence. To own your story means to acknowledge every chapter, every wound, and every victory as a vital thread in your tapestry. It is an act of radical self-acceptance and courageous authenticity. Why is this ownership so vital to silent attractiveness? Because authenticity is the strongest magnet there is. When you inhabit your story fully, you release the exhausting need to perform or to hide. Your presence becomes an open invitation rooted in truth, a state that others yearn to be near, feel, and trust. Reflect on your own life's pivotal moments, the decisions you've wrestled with, the fears you've faced, the lessons carved into your soul. Each experience has shaped you, quietly molding the energy you radiate. Owning these moments without defensiveness or apology transforms your energy from fragile to unshakable. Owning your story silently also means releasing the illusion that you must explain or justify your past. Sometimes, the most potent expression of your journey is the way you carry yourself today, the calmness in your voice, the steadiness of your eyes, the grace in your interactions. These reveal who you are more fully than any words could. This kind of authenticity is not perfect. It includes vulnerability, mistakes, regrets, and growth. It embraces shadows without shame and light without arrogance. This honest integration enriches your presence, inviting others to drop their own masks and create connection beyond surfaces. The journey to owning your story without words begins with self-compassion, a sincere embrace of every facet of yourself. It requires courage to meet old wounds tenderly and to see them as teachers rather than scars to hide. As you cultivate this compassion, your inner narrative shifts from resistance to acceptance, from fragmentation to wholeness. Imagine inviting others into your space without verbalizing your past, but simply by showing up fully, grounded in your truth. Your energy tells the unspoken story, creating neither pity nor judgment, but connection from a place beyond words. You become a living testament to resilience and authenticity. In daily life, This ownership looks like confidence in your silence, calmness in your presence, and grace in your boundaries. It allows you to participate genuinely without the need to impress or explain. Your story becomes a silent backdrop that enriches every interaction and deepens your magnetic force. Stories from those who have mastered this art remind us of the quiet influence of unwavering authenticity, people who have endured hardship without bitterness, who have grown from failure without shame, who have chosen peace amidst chaos. These individuals pull others close, not with words, but with the palpable presence of truth, lived fully. As you integrate this understanding, you cultivate a magnetic authenticity that does not seek approval, but invites respect. You become a beacon of realness in a world often cluttered with pretense, guiding others toward genuine connection and self-acceptance. This chapter concludes the core messages that build your silent attractiveness: your presence, listening, subtle expressions, calm confidence, pause appearance, humility, emotional stability, generosity, and now authentic ownership of your story, all weave together to create a magnetic tapestry that no surface charm can match. As you prepare to close this journey and step into the world anew, remember, your story is your power, most potent when lived silently and sincerely. You need not speak it aloud. Your being tells it beautifully, deeply, and irrevocably. The journey does not end here, but transforms into a living practice, a continuous unfolding of your true self in every moment. Step forward with quiet courage, ready to attract not by noise or demand, but by the profound truth of your authentic presence. Your silent attractiveness is now a lived reality. Carry it with pride, humility, and grace. The world awaits your quiet brilliance. Chapter 11. Embracing stillness in a noisy world. The world spins faster every day, clamoring for attention with relentless urgency. Screens glow brightly, voices rise sharply, and silence becomes scarce, almost taboo. Yet within this whirlwind, a profound invitation beckons to embrace stillness. Stillness is more than the absence of noise. It is a sacred presence, a fertile ground from which silent attraction blossoms most fully. Imagine standing in a vast forest at dawn, where everything is hushed, save for the gentle rustle of leaves and the soft breath of the earth. In the stillness, the air hums with life and possibility, unseen but deeply felt. This is the power waiting for you, a stillness that is alive, rich, magnetic. This chapter uncovers stillness as a transformative force, a refuge in a noisy world, and a core habit of those silently attractive. Stillness allows you to step outside the chaos, to reconnect with your inner calm and clarity, and to project an irresistible energy that draws others in effortlessly. Why is stillness so vital? Because it is the silent container of presence and authenticity. When you cultivate stillness within, you become less reactive, less scattered, and more grounded. Your energy stabilizes, your attention sharpens, and your subtle signals, the small smiles, the steady gaze, the calm breathing, carry more weight and meaning. Stillness also nurtures deep listening, both inward and outward. In moments of quiet, you hear your own intuition clearly and tune in to others more fully. This quality of mindful awareness elevates your social interactions from superficial exchanges to meaningful connections. In a culture flooded with noise, those who embrace stillness become rare and precious. People naturally gravitate toward calm centers, seeking refuge in the warmth and steadiness you offer. This magnetic pull is silent, yet profound, often reshaping relationships without overt effort. The journey toward stillness is not about withdrawing or escaping, but about engaging life with greater depth and presence. It requires courage to sit with discomfort, to resist the urge to fill empty spaces with words or distraction. But in that courageous pause, transformation quietly unfolds. Practical ways to cultivate stillness include mindful breathing, meditation, nature walks, or simply intentional pauses during your day. These moments reconnect you to your center, helping you shed mental clutter and emotional noise, and strengthening the grounded energy that supports silent attraction. Reflect on times when you felt most present, perhaps during a quiet sunrise, a heartfelt conversation, or a moment of solitude. These flashes of stillness are glimpses of your natural state, waiting to become a constant rhythm in your life. As stillness deepens, you embody a magnetic calm that invites trust and warmth. Your presence becomes a silent sanctuary where others feel both seen and safe. This is the hallmark of silent attractiveness, powerful yet gentle, visible yet unobtrusive. As we prepare to close this transformative journey, remember that stillness is not a destination, but a lifelong practice, a partner guiding you continually toward authenticity and connection. It holds space for all the qualities we have explored, from presence and calm confidence to generosity and owning your story. Next, we arrive at the final chapter, a powerful reflection, weaving these teachings into a timeless message of silent attraction. It will leave you empowered, inspired, and ready to carry this magnetic energy forward into every corner of your life. Hold this truth: in the quiet, the unseen, the silent, your true power shines brightest. Embrace stillness, not just as reprieve, but as your most compelling way of being. The journey continues, alive and unfolding, inviting you deeper still. Step into this moment fully. Your silent attraction awaits. Chapter 12. The finale. Your magnetic silence unleashed. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean just as the sun begins to set. The sky blazes with hues of gold and crimson. The rhythmic waves gently lap at your feet, and a profound stillness settles around you. In this sacred space, the world feels vast, yet intimate, loud yet hushed, timeless and alive. This image mirrors the silent power you have been cultivating, your magnetic silence, ready to ripple through your life and beyond. This final chapter is your landing place, a reflection and celebration of the journey you have taken. It is a call to embody everything you have learned, to carry your silent attractiveness as a living, breathing force that both grounds and elevates you. Here, the whisper of presence becomes a roar of authentic power. At the heart of this transformation lies one truth: being silently attractive is not about changing who you are, but uncovering who you already are beneath the noise, expectation, and distraction. It is about owning your essence with courage, clarity, and grace, letting your authentic self radiate through calm confidence, deep listening, subtle expression, humble generosity, emotional steadiness, and stillness. Reflect on the moments and habits you have gathered. Presence that steadies, listening that connects without interruption, expressions that invite without overwhelm, the quiet confidence that does not demand, but commands respect. These are not tricks or masks, but roots and branches of your true self, patiently nurtured and now flourishing. Your silent attractiveness is a force that needs no audience or applause. It draws people close, not because you force their attention, but because you offer a rare sanctuary, the kind of space where others feel safe, seen, and valued without effort or demand. That is the essence of magnetic silence. It is invitation without pressure, connection without noise. Practical takeaways you can carry from this journey include the power of pause, the elegance of dressing with intention, the humility that opens doors, and the generosity that enriches. Each acts like a thread, even together a fabric of presence that is as attractive as it is authentic. Let this final message linger. Your power lies in quiet confidence, steady presence, and authentic connection. When you walk through the world grounded in these, you become a living beacon, both calm and compelling, invisible yet undeniable. You become proof that attraction is as much about what is unspoken as what is expressed. As you step forward from this audiobook, consider your daily rhythms and choices. Where will you invite more stillness? How will you listen more deeply? What subtle signal will you offer next? Each intention, no matter how small, strengthens your magnetic field and deepens your connection to yourself and others. Remember, this is a lifelong journey, not a destination to be reached and forgotten. Silent attractiveness grows as you grow, evolves as you evolve, and reveals new dimensions as you deepen your commitment to authenticity and presence. Embrace your magnetic silence as a companion, sage, and guide. Your story, carried without words, owned without apology, is your greatest gift. Your magnetic energy is a beacon lighting paths for those willing to see beyond noise and superficiality. Walk with your quiet power, knowing that you attract not by force, but by truth. Now, open your eyes and take a deep breath. Feel the stillness within you, the calm confidence gathered through this journey. Your silent attractiveness is no longer just an idea or aspiration, but a lived reality, humming quietly but powerfully through every moment. Go forth with gratitude for the path you have walked and excitement for the road ahead. Your magnetic silence will not only transform your relationships, but also inspire the world around you. The journey begins anew with each step you take. Carry this light softly, brightly, and always authentically. You are ready.